Peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Times 3 to the 6. All praise to that 9. Wanted to come tap in and share this with y'all because this is, it's the essence of it. One of them ones, one of them days. Just a random day. You know what I'm saying? But again, afforded and granted the ability to be able to give back at a good magnitude. So why not, right? And when I say good magnitude, man, anything more than one is good for me. So when I'm, today, I was able to hit off, I think I might have hit off like anywhere from like 12 to like 16 people maybe, just in the at the bus stop fast track area. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a lot of people out and about in the common areas outside today. You know what I mean? So they were huddled up at the fast track because it's pretty warm there. So the warming centers in certain spots been open. So they've been staying indoors as much as possible. So when it's like that, I just like to go find where I can find them at, because I know certain spots where I know they'll be at, especially the campsite. You know what I'm saying? There's certain spots where I know they'll always be posted up. So I just wanted to put some stuff together for them and bring it down there, because that's my thing. They're always gonna need something. Every day is a need for food and shelter. You know what I mean? Excuse my words. I'm looking at stuff. I'm thinking about a whole lot. It's a lot going on over here. But you know what I mean? Every day is a need for something, man. So today was one of those days, like many for me. But I just want to give y'all a little bit of an inside look. So I got the good size thing of the jelly and the peanut butter over here. So I keep it on deck for the people. Put together the sandwiches with a side of chips, turkey sandwiches as well, turkey and cheese sandwiches. Got the mayo on deck for them, give them no dry sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Then on over here, we have these crochets that were donated to us by someone who I consider a true villager. Definitely a villager at heart, at spirit. Provided us, with all kinds of just different scarves and covers and blankets and hats. You know what I mean? Like beautiful colors, beautiful quality, beautiful quantity. I gave a couple away today. The people went crazy for them. Insulation blankets, you know what I mean? Packs and hand warmers, so something like a mini care package. I just popped out with all of this stuff, and found you guys need some hand warmers, you need some blankets, you know what I mean, and we get it busting like that. You know what I mean? So as you see, it doesn't really take much, and this was all for donation. You know what I mean? Again, some of this donation actually came from my mother, who's a member of the village on the, you know what I mean? But she, and that's what I mean. We always come out of pocket for this. You know what I'm saying? Always. There's never a time where we're not spending our own money as well. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of this thing here, is it's really a group effort. So that goes, but I do want to send a special shout out to my man Ange Japonte, from the city, Pinnacle Love right there. You know what I'm saying? He definitely looked out, and he sent a generous donation to the village, which we're greatly grateful for. You know what I'm saying? It's greatly valued, and this is why I also like to show these kind of things. Like, it may seem small, but again, you got these hand warmers that didn't come from me, bro. You have a lot of these things that, a lot does come from us, but there's so much that doesn't come from us, that come from the people, and we just love to be able to be the medium, to be the outlet, because there's not many outlets there. And that's part of why I feel driven to do the work that I do. If there was a million places that I felt like I can go and just bring a hot meal, like, hey, give this to someone who needs it, like that's the type of thing, and that's the energy that I'm seeking to create. And that's why I'm so grateful when people recognize that and gravitate to it and don't have a problem investing in that, because it's not for me. And I think by now it's becoming a more abundantly clear. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. That's like Ponzi scheme type shit right there. Like, I would never. And again, not only would I never ask for the people for something that I would never do myself, But I would just never ask for someone to deceive them, to profit off or for my own gain, or, you know, I'm not that type of individual. Because for one, even if I was, bro, that shit gonna come back on me. Even if I thought I was fooling y'all and getting away with these kind of things, bro, there's no getting away with that kind of shit. Your ass gonna pay for it one way or another. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's not who I am. But that's why I leave it open to you know, the people who see it. You know, if this is something that you feel like, you know, you wanna you would like to support and invest in and even be a part of, because like I say, I don't like the village to be. No, if you want to be a part of this thing, you can be a member. You can be a villager past the we can make it official, because it's already official. You know what I mean? Like my town, all you got to do is help out, and you part of the village, and that's what I mean. It ain't no, you know, we all one here. All we got to do is just help each other and look out for our neighbor, man. You know what I'm saying? And we a city though. You know what I'm saying? That the whole city is our neighborhood. You know what I mean? But if we can take care of each other, we'll be a lot better off. But this is the essence of it, man. You know, I bought a meat slicer last year for stuff like this, you know, so anytime that you see us giving out sandwiches and stuff, we didn't have to go to a deli. We didn't buy already sliced deli meat. You know, we're going and we're getting the whole ham, whole turkey, slicing it up ourselves. That's an investment that I felt, well, I knew for sure that we needed to make. So I made sure that I went out and I got that thing, and that was before we even started asking for donations. You know, I just went out and I got that because that was something that I knew we needed. We were going to need that, and we've been using it. And in days like this, it just feels so good to be able to help the people in these kinds of ways. You should see the people's faces when they out there in this 10-20 degree weather, hands frozen, and you run up on them, you know what I'm saying, with some hand warmers, you know what I mean, and then it could warm up a little bit, and then it's sweet in the pot. You hungry too, bro? You look, you want a sandwich, man? I got some sandwich, you know what I'm saying, and you just change the trajectory of a person's whole day. And a lot of that stress, a lot of they thought they wasn't gonna have nothing to eat all day long. Now here goes the nighttime. Well, evening time. You know what I'm saying? It was about 4 or 5 when I was out there, 6. But right around that time, here you go with the hand warmers. And I had, like I said, I had blankets with me and hats, scarves. That stuff right there, and it shows them people out here care, man. People out here care, you know what I'm saying? Some people just get tired of even living because you feel like no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? And that's no way to feel. Even this one kid, you know, I went to go ask him something. He said, nah. His mans was like, nigga, you crazy? Like, you better take some. He said, oh, no, I thought you was selling them. And I'm like, nah, but you see that, though? You know, people need help, man. People need help. That kid, and he was a young boy, man, about to tell me no just because he didn't want to have to pay for him. You know, sad, man, but I ain't gonna get on here babbling, man. I just wanted to make a couple of points and show y'all. Cause this weekend I was at my homeboy's Jack and Jill. He's about to get married soon. He just had a Jack and Jill, him and his old lady. I stopped through, showed love, had a good time amongst him and his peoples, and I met his mom. But before I get into that, because this particular homeboy, he does a lot of work with me with the nonprofit. Anytime I got something going on, you know what I'm saying? What's the word? You know what I'm saying? And then he's always willing to get boosted. At this point, man, my boy, you know what I'm saying? We locked in, man. He's a true villager. You know what I'm saying? He's with the team. You know what I mean? Because he never misses a beat. Like I said, man, he's always down to donate his resources, donate his time. You know what I mean? When we had our winter wear drive, my boy donated a couple of brand new fresh coats from Macy's. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So if that's not a true villager, man, I don't know what it is. But you know, he talks to his mom a lot about what we do. And I met her at the Jack and Jill, and she was just saying how, you know, she loves what we do. It's so dope. You know, she's inspired by it. And she was telling me, you know, she would have talks with him over the years about doing that kind of stuff and wanting to help people and wanting to do certain things, but not knowing how and not knowing where to start and overthinking and being in your own head. And, you know, she's preaching to the choir. Well, you know, is little as she might have known it or not. But I'm telling her, like, listen, that's normal. Like, I don't have all the answers. I'm still figuring stuff out every single day with this. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. But there's always things we know for sure, and that's just what I kind of started leaning to that thought process more. Like, I know there's a bunch of stuff that I don't know, but I know there's a couple things I do know. Like, I know if I put together a peanut butter sandwich, a turkey and cheese sandwich, ham and cheese sandwich, and go give it to someone who I know for a fact is hungry because I know they're out there, that's like 2 + 2 to me. So let me just build off of that and feed off of that. And that's just that thought process there. And I was telling, sometimes we're our only problem. We're our only roadblock because we know what to do. We just don't know. We just are afraid to take that step. And I said, sometimes you just got to jump, And that's why I reassure you, I don't have all the answers to this. I don't know all of what I'm doing from top to bottom. But, obviously I take my time to be diligent and figure out everything and get my ducks in a row. But this isn't something I'm like, I got a whole blueprint. There's no blueprint for this, for one. So you're never going to even have it all right. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just got to, once you know where to start there and just slow pace it. Take your time. And as you see, things can turn into something. And it's beginning to turn into a real community effort, a conglomerate, a collaborative front. Like, I don't even know what else to call it. Like, and I'm starting to feel like people are waiting for the next thing. They're waiting to find out how they can help or where they can help. And that's what we love on this side, because the second we all get like that, because that's the mentality that I have, and that's how I move now. Where can I help and how can I help? I just found out a way to insert myself. But that's why now I can play the medium and help people insert themselves. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. So now once more people figure out there's stuff that can be done and it doesn't take much to do it, and there's people doing it who you can come talk with, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this was off the backs of multiple individuals. You don't gotta kill yourself trying to save the world. Just get with people who share that sentiment as in certain things. And this is what I mean, bro. I couldn't do everything myself, bro. We all play different roles. The individuals who send donations, who are able to afford when we buy this and we buy that and we buy that, and we're able to give people an abundance of things, or if we're able to there's just a plethora of possibilities that open up when you're working with the higher population. The bigger the number, the bigger the possibilities, man. And when it's genuine, the people feel it, man. Trust me. The people feel it, the people know it, and it's irreplaceable, man. But I really just wanted to come show y'all that this is, again, it's all a part of the journey. This is all what counts. I think we hit, like I said, I think I might have hit about 12 to like 16, maybe 7. It was a good amount of people, because I know I came out with about 32 sandwiches between peanut butter and jelly and turkey sandwiches, about 32. And I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 left. So, but obviously people got doubles. I ain't retarded now. People got 2 and but this is what I mean. It's nice to be able to give in abundance. You know what I mean? Because people ain't used to that. They get one. What grown man? He probably ain't eating 2 days. Everybody's story is different, but you never know. And when you talking about one sandwich, what you gonna do with one sandwich? So I like folks might want to eat something for later, and all that kind of stuff, man. But like I said, man, this is what it's about. I said I don't want to drag it out too long. I'm already dragging it out. But there's just so much to be said on these kinds of topics. And this is why the documentary is coming soon. But that's what all these little pieces, little by little, was all getting there, man. We getting there. But peace, y'all. Peace.